Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we would do something a little bit different. I mean, not too much different, it's still makeup, but it's kind of a different purpose. So I bought these little guys, and I know you guys have probably seen tons of reviews on the whole Crayola collection, and I'm pretty sure like at least 95% of them are bad reviews, because believe me, I've watched a bunch of them, and like every time I watched another one I was like, oh my god, what did I buy? Why did I buy this? And so then I started thinking, I ordered this literally the day that it launched because I was afraid that it would sell out. And I'm sure a lot of you guys might have done the same thing. You went ahead and ordered it because you were afraid if you waited to see reviews, it would sell out. Because in this case, Crayola didn't send PR out to any of these big YouTubers to test out first. So everybody was kind of flying blind. And then all the reviews started coming in and pretty much it was all crap. So here I am with, these are the only two items I personally purchased. But I'm sitting here going, did I just waste my money? Because they weren't cheap. And so I figured, why don't I try to just see if I can make them work for me? You guys know I like messing around with the Hot Topic palettes, and sometimes I have to kind of make it work for me, and I don't mind doing that. So I thought I would test these out and see if I can get them to work for me, you know, maybe finesse them a little bit in a way that if you purchased them too, you could do the same thing. Because I know I hate wasting money. I'm sure you guys hate wasting money. And if you bought any of these, I'm sure you've either already given them away, thrown them away, or you've got them stashed in a drawer, hoping that one day maybe you'll be able to use them and get a decent look out of them. So what I purchased is 3 of the, what I would consider eye crayons. On the back it says eyes, face, and lips, but these are like blue, green, and gold. These are just going to be eyes for me. And then I purchased the lip crayons. The big complaint I've seen about these eye crayons is it moves around a lot, or it doesn't blend easily. And I think a lot of the big channels have purchased like as much of the collection as they could get their hands on. So mostly I've seen a lot of them using the powder palettes, which in my opinion looked awful. I didn't even want to buy them. They just looked so boring, so I didn't buy them. I'm just gonna play around with like the best way to use these. And then I will put these on my lips and we'll just see what color they come out, and if I'll tell you if it's anything weird like a smell or anything like that. But that way, if you purchase any of these products, maybe you can try to use them as well, because you know, nobody likes to waste money. All right, so before I go do whatever eye look I'm going to do off camera, I do want to show you what these look like. The collection that I purchased for these little trios is the Mermaid collection. I just thought it looked pretty and that I would potentially get some fun use out of it. So these are the shades right here. The lip collection that I bought is the Wild Fruits collection. So these are the lip trio colors. So I'll try all of these on, but first, I'm going to jump off camera, see if I can play around with these to kind of figure out how I want to make them work. Hopefully I can make them work, and then I will jump back on here to show you guys what I came up with and show you how to do it on the other eye. And then back again. So I was swatching these on my hand just so I could see what kind of color and like stuff I was getting into here. And that happened. I think this might have been one of the complaints people had as well. So I think that the tip's probably just going to be extra delicate. I think once you get past that area, you should be okay. I definitely can see what people were talking about. They're just very like creamy. I don't know. Yeah. I see why people are complaining about it, but we're gonna make it work. At least we're gonna try. All right guys, after a bit of trial and error, I think I found the best way to use these, at least the eye crayons, if you purchased them. So what I ended up doing was I used these pretty much the same way that I end up using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, basically to amplify a shadow. So I used these to kind of lay down a base, and then I pulled out a shadow that I know I have problems with being very sheer, like this Moana palette from Hot Topic, and layered it over it. So I was still able to get kind of the color from the shadow because it had something to stick to. And it had kind of, I used similar tones, obviously. This, in my opinion, looks really good if you've got a color that's very similar. But hey, you know, maybe you've bought this palette, or maybe you have some similar colors. Either way, you could also just use it for any kind of like this color. You could use it for any blue base. This gold one really would be beautiful with any kind of gold shadow over it, really just to have something to grip onto, kind of like a wax adhesive, just maybe not as sticky. But now that I've got those over there, the shadows over there, like it's not really coming off like it was. You know, if I rubbed my finger it would, but you know. So I'm gonna start off with the steel blue shade, and I'm just going to do a halo eye. So I'm just gonna very carefully put it on the outside and inside. I did find that while it's still kind of at a pointed tip, it's helpful just to kind of keep the tip facing, like holding it straight, because you guys saw what I mentioned when I was swatching it. I tried to hold it to the side and I broke the tip off. So they're a little delicate while it still has the sharper tip. I have a feeling once you get down a little further, it won't be so bad. All right, so that's it. Now I'm going to use the gold pencil and fill in the center. And it's okay if it overlaps a little bit. So you can see this is what it looks like with just the crayons. Now I will tell you, if you took like a kind of dense synthetic brush, you could easily buff out these edges and you could wear it like that, but it is going to be kind of, it's gonna stay tacky. It doesn't dry down. So you definitely need to set these. You could potentially set them with a translucent powder if you liked the way you managed to get it to look, but I am going to finesse it with some shadows. So I do wanna show you. All right, so those are the two on my hand. Now I'm gonna show you what these two colors that I'm about to use look like, and I'm digging in here. This color was one of my favorites in the pan, but worst ones to actually use. So this is a dry brush. So this is what that shade is like with a dry brush. I mean, I am layering. I mean, it's just sheer. It's one of the worst ones in the palette. Then let's go into this gold. Again, I'm digging in there. So you see how sheer these are? This probably was one of the kind of worst quality palettes from Hot Topic. I've got the brush wet now just so you guys can see. If you guys watched my video, you'll know that I did get a successful look out of it, but it took some finessing. So that's what you get when you wet the brush with that gold shade. And that's what you get if you use a wet brush on that green shade. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. See, you can already tell the difference, like looking at them side by side. This is with the shadows without. So let's get into some layering. Starting out with Mini Maui, I am still gonna get a good dig in on this brush, and then I'm just gonna pat it. And then while I'm still in that color, I'm just gonna kind of go into the tip of it and kind of buff out the edges a bit. And now I'm going into the gold shade, which is Manina Toa. And then pop that on the center. I mean, that's like instantly beautiful. It just has something to grip onto. So next, just to kind of complete the look, I just took this really tiny little blending brush and went into Montanui and very, very softly went right where the edge of this is, just so it looks like we blended some colors beforehand. For the lower lash line, I obviously used the green shade. I did dip into a different palette for that one because I wanted you guys to be able to see the color as true as it could be. And as you can tell in here, there's not really like a true green shade. I mean, these were your only greens in here and I've already used that one. So sticking with the whole amplifying a sheer shadow kind of concept, I went into this Harlequin palette, which I actually had a lot of success with. But I don't believe I used the green in my look. And so I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna get my flat angled brush, that's what I'm about to use, and get some of this color on, and then show you guys what it would look like. Obviously it's very chunky, but it's still very, very sheer. Our handy little green crayon, do a little line of that. There's our green crayon. And then I'm basically going to be able to use this to just set it. Here, I'll just do half of the line. So look at that difference. You can see I did the top half of the line, the bottom half I didn't do. So I think you can really make these crayons work for you in this sense if you already bought them. So I'm gonna line my lash line and then cover it with the green shadow. And what I'm doing is just kind of patting or packing this color on initially. So I'm dipping back in, getting pigment, packing it on. And now that it's all on, I've got one more little bit of pigment on here and I'm just kind of running it along the bottom to really just smoke it out and diffuse it. Okay, that's it. And I'm gonna pop into the highlighter Heart of Tafiti from this Moana palette and just pop this in the inner corner. So that's it, guys, literally, that's all it is. So I'm just gonna do my winged liner, mascara. I think I'm gonna throw on some lashes and I'll be right back to just kind of like wrap everything up. All right guys, so this is the finished look with some lashes added to it and of course winged liner. I definitely think it really helps. And hopefully this helps you guys if you did already spend your hard-earned money on these Crayola items and you're kind of at a loss for what to do with them. So hopefully that helps. Let's do the lips real quick. I'm gonna show you how one applies and then I'll just show you the swatches of the other three and let you know if there's anything weird about them. All right, so this is Very Cherry. All right, so those were the swatches of the 3 lip products that I purchased. I'm definitely not super happy with those. I was kind of hoping they would be a bit more of a sheer formula, and this Mango Tango shade, the one I'm wearing right now, it's kind of like sheer and shimmery at the same time. And they were just a little hard to work with because they were so creamy. This sheer one was a bit more stiff, so I felt like I had a bit more control. But you're basically just applying it like it's a jumbo lip pencil and then filling your lips in. There is a scent. I can't quite put my finger on what it is. It's not necessarily good and not necessarily bad. Yeah, definitely a little like medicine-y or waxy. I'm not quite sure. So there's not really any kind of trick or hack I can give you with these items. I mean, something like the reds, you may honestly want to use a kind of stiffer red lip liner first to make sure you have extra control because it's very easy to slip off your lip. With this, it could probably be really pretty over a color, or I am gonna top it with a very sheerly tinted lip gloss just so that the weird scent that it has will leave me alone. Butterbeer lip gloss. So I really like the way that looks. I think this kind of shimmery color, once you add a bit of extra shine to it, looks really pretty. So you can kind of like play around with the lip products, but mostly I just wanted to show you guys how you can possibly make the little eye crayons work for you if you bought them and have been super disappointed that you wasted your money on them. All right, so that's all for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And of course, click the notification bell, super important. All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye.